Welcome to The Common Fan, your go-to podcast for SEC smack talk, top 25 game day predictions, and fan-first football takes in college or the NFL. Here is your host, Bryce Tillman. So grab a drink, pull up a chair, and let's talk ball.
Psych. It's not Bryce Tillman. It's your boy Kyle and Cam Boney, a.k.a. Cam the GOAT, Cam the Beast, Cam the Best. What's up, Cam? What's up, Bryce? You can see Bryce here. Little Shane Gillis. What's going on, everybody?
Up? Yeah, Bryce is on the highway headed home for the trick or treat tomorrow. So he's doing it in the truck. And I got a little helper here.
Yeah, there's Macy.
What's going on, everybody? We on audio here, so not in the camera, but here in spirit, hearing with my ears. So ready for the show. Kyle got it. Camp's got it, and I'm excited for them. I know they can handle it and give y'all some good content here.
All right, we're gonna mute Bryce. No, just kidding.
Yeah, we're in control now.
Yeah, it's our show. No. So first thing, Cam. Right before we get on the show, we get a little ESPN. LSU's AD is stepping away. Let me hear it. What you think?
Yeah. So I heard the governor come out today or yesterday it was, and said that they didn't stand for that in the state of Louisiana. That wasn't going to fly, and that this next coach was going to be set up for success, and the state was going to make sure of it.
He also said that he wanted Trump to pick him.
Yeah, he said he would let Trump pick him. I mean,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I get the gap, but anyways. Hey, I mean, yeah. If the state's behind you, I feel like this next hire, they'll probably take a few school lunches away to get this next guy. But hey, they'll find somebody good, I'm sure.
So, and Bryce, we were talking about this. Does it that kind of makes it a little bit less intriguing for a coach to take that job, right? Like if I'm hearing that the governor's gonna be a part of this and he's gonna control my salary and my contract, like I don't know if I want to take that job.
Yeah, Kyle, I mean, the reality of it is, man, when you're sitting here and you're a winning coach and you're making good money at this school right now, and you're probably under contract. Most of them are, right? At least to the end of the season. So if I'm willing to leave a school and go to another job like LSU, who they don't settle for less, they expect to be contenders year in, year out, and I know that, if I don't win here and I don't have success, I won't be here. And with a governor coming out saying that we're tired of these ridiculous buyouts, look, that's great. We all are. But if I'm that coach and I'm saying, well, Penn State's open, the Pennsylvania governor hasn't come out and said anything like that, why wouldn't I just go to Penn State? That's a good, respectable program. They win ball games. They're in the Big Ten. Or Florida. Even Florida. Exactly. So I think that the governor doesn't realize it, but he really done more harm than he did helping in this situation.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like going into this, the whole coaching carousel, LSU is the number one job on the list, right? Followed up shortly by Florida and Penn State. Now I think LSU might have dropped some. I think LSU might be the second or even third job on the list just because of that.
I'm with you on that. That's what I was thinking. I'm thinking that they're wanting someone Lane Kiffin caliber, right? So the problem with that is you have a guy who's stable in a good environment, making plenty of money, and you're saying, well, LSU is the best job. We're a better job than Ole Miss any day of the week. I beg to differ now. If you're telling me you're taking the control that I have away, the whole state is going to fund, or I say they are. They're probably not going to, but I'm sure some big donors are going to step up.
I guarantee it.
Yeah, and they're going to persuade who they're going to hire, which means when the time comes around and you're Brian Kelly and you're not performing like they think you should, then you're on the first train out of there, and you had an easy ride. I feel like I'm like you. It dropped the caliber of the job to me well below. I mean, I know we talked Auburn a couple nights ago. I think that even drops LSU behind Auburn there if that job comes up.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
So now under the assumption that I'm almost willing to guarantee it at this point that I don't think Lane Kiffin at LSU. I don't think he even wants to be a part of that. Much less, I don't even think it's at the standpoint for the money for Lane. It's at the point now where you're like, okay, we have an incompetent AD who's supposed to lead the program. We don't even know who they're going to hire next. And the governor has decided to put a board of trustees together to make a decision on the hire and negotiate my contract. Yeah, if I'm Lane Kiffin, I'm that. So this is good news for Florida. This is good news for Florida in their coaching search.
Yeah, I'm ready for it all to end. I'm ready to see where everybody's going. I know there's a lot of coaches that probably have already committed to some jobs, but they're not going because they're mid-season, right? And they're making a good run. John Summerall, maybe. You know, who's to know that Lane Kiffin has already committed to go somewhere or committed to not go?
But you know? With that being said, like, would it hurt for someone who, okay, for instance, say Arkansas wants to hire James Franklin and they come to an agreement. Does it hurt to go ahead and bring him on board now?
No, I don't think so.
But
if John Summerall commits to go to LSU or Arkansas or Auburn,
he can't leave.
He's in a run right now. Yeah, he's in a run right now where if he makes that commitment, like his team's giving up on him. So who's to know that there's not a lot of stuff behind doors that's already been talked about and done, and we're just waiting for January 15th or 20th or February 1st. You know, a lot of stuff coming in the future. I think it's gonna be crazy.
Does that?
One thing I would like to add to that real quick, and I'm sure y'all seen the reports too. Seeing a lot of crystal balls, a lot of maybe not as reputable reporters. When I mean that, I mean by name, not by what they put out. But they're putting in that James Franklin's finalizing a deal with Virginia Tech right now. I have seen that all over social media yesterday and today. So I don't know the severity of it. I don't know, the extent of how true it is. But these people are not just going out there posting it for nothing, because these are reporters from journalist sources of that nature that it seems like James Franklin's made a 4-year deal, or it's in the making with Virginia Tech right now. So that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I think so.
Franklin at Virginia Tech would be crazy.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I think Franklin at Virginia Tech would bring a whole new, what is that, Sandstorm they play up there? Or
yeah, dude. The Sandman.
The Sandman. Yeah. The Sandman, man, that would bring that stadium back to life. He'd have some great recruits, and I would actually be a little bit scared of Virginia Tech. They have some money.
Sandstorm, South Carolina. That's William Bryce Stadium. Does that?
Yeah, that's right.
But all right. So first game of Week 10, we're doing Vanderbilt at Texas. Line opened up Monday at 1.5 points, favored towards Texas. Now we're even down to 3.5. Still favored Texas way. I think Vanderbilt's getting a little disrespected here.
Well, I told y'all before.
Talk to me.
I told y'all before this show that I come across some content today that said this is Texas's first home game since September the 20th. Over a month.
Okay. So 4 weeks.
First game at home in 4 weeks. Vanderbilt will be going back on the road for the first time since
Bama.
September the 3rd. No, yeah, Bama. October the 4th, yeah. And they did not do that well on the road there. So,
yeah.
I feel like Texas is at a point right now to save their season to win out. Because it's natty or bust with Texas. So I'm thinking that they're going to play with like everything's on the table, and that's why the line is a little bit skewed. But I still think that they did disrespect Vandy by how they've performed so far too. So
yeah, I think Vanderbilt's definitely earned their respect in this league, right? They're 7-1. They've played a pretty tough schedule, beat some pretty good teams, LSU, Missouri, South Carolina. Obviously took a hard loss to Alabama, but they're 7-1, and they've had a pretty good schedule. They're number 9. Why are we thinking that they're just not the favorite against Texas, who has struggled all year?
Well, I don't know if Arch is going to play. That's another thing. I don't know if Arch is
I
going to
did
play.
see that he was questionable.
Questionable, but I've read a lot of talk on Twitter that maybe this is the turning point that kind of flipped that switch for Arch. Beat Mississippi State, coming back from a 17-point deficit, coming back and winning that. So maybe there's a little bit of false hope, and it could be, it could be just Texas is turning it on here at the end of the season. Who knows? But I think we're in for a good game. I will say that it's 11 o'clock game though. I feel like that was kind of disrespectful too. But
yeah, come on, give it a night game. I feel like a
Yeah.
night game at Texas, like not comparing to last year's Georgia versus Texas, but like kind of get a little bit of the same vibes of Vanderbilt going to Texas. Let's play it at night. Let's see what these boys are about.
that should at least be a 3 o'clock game. Minimum.
Yeah, at a minimum, yeah.
And guys, let's not forget about this Vanderbilt and Texas game last year was a field goal game. Vanderbilt lost by a field goal last year. So my theory to this is the reason Texas is favored in this game is simply because it's at Texas. If it was neutral site, neutral field, I feel like the money line would be even. It would be an open checkbook to this game. I do question about Arch not being ready. If he's questionable, does that mean that they're going to go with Arch Saturday? I mean, he didn't practice he wasn't on the field practicing with the team this week. So that's something to take in consideration here. I like Vanderbilt. I like their style of play. But I will say what I studied up on this week and checked out, Vanderbilt's offense doesn't poise well with Texas defense. Texas defense is pretty decent up front, and Vanderbilt is a short yardage gain offense. So we got to see Pavia with the deep balls and the freak plays like he's normally able to do. But if they take away the short yardage situation like Texas is pretty decent at doing, I mean, I don't know, man. This really could be the week that swings Texas' way, and they might come out big in this one. I'm really, really torn in this game.
Well, I'm going to add to that, Bryce. I'm going to say that Texas offense is coming around, but State's defense is mid. Not elite, decent, good secondary. They shut down Arch for 3 quarters. Their offense 78th overall, 67th in pass yards, 90th with 139 yards average game in rushing yards. Vanderbilt's 34th overall in offense, 62nd in pass yardage, 24th in rushing yards. But here's the kicker. Their defenses. Texas is 19th overall. They are 3rd in the country in rush yards. But last week, Devon Booth had 99 yards himself. So, there's potential there. There's potential there. I think that they kind of got – I'm not going to say exposed, but I feel like maybe State found some weaknesses in their run game and racked up some yardage. But Blake Shapen did almost over 400 yards too on them. So,
well, I feel like that. Not discrediting Texas defense, but I feel like that's kind of padded a little bit, right? Because Mississippi State's running back room has been solid all year. Coming into the season, their average was like 5.9. But they play Kentucky, OU, who's a pass heavy, Florida, who's pass heavy, Stan Houston, and Mississippi State the last 5 games. The only real run heavy offense there is Mississippi State. So,
and they moved the ball on Texas's defense.
Yeah. So, I feel like I like Vandy in this game. I don't think there's anything that's going to pull me away from riding with Vandy on this. Vanderbilt has played 7 solid games. Even the Bama game, like there was just certain times where Diego probably wanted to be Superman versus being a QB1, right? That got him into some trouble. So I don't know. I'm riding with Vandy. I'm staying away from it on bets.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. This kind of feels like the Alabama Vandy game, which I'm not going to say Texas is Bama by no means, but it come down to a turnover battle. And I feel like that's kind of going to play into effect here with who keeps the ball clean, who takes care of the ball, minimizes the turnovers, and keeps the majority of possession of the time down. I feel like it's going to be a lower scoring game, But I feel like that's just keeping clean football play, and that's what's going to be the factor in this game. And I got Vandy on this one too.
All right, Cam, let's hear your points. Who you got? You got Vandy?
I got you Vandy at 28 and Texas at 24.
Okay. Bryce, what you got?
So Cam was talking about, what he thinks is going to be the advantage here, and I think the advantage to this Vanderbilt and Texas game is going to be Alex, the running back for Vanderbilt.
Alexander,
I think if he's able to establish a run game, get some decent yardage on the ground here, then Vanderbilt can handle this well. Not sure if that's going to be the case on it, but I'm with y'all, man. I want something in my gut is telling me to pick Texas in this game, but my heart's saying go with the Vandy boys until they prove us wrong. So I'm going Vandy. I'm going Vandy. I like Vanderbilt to win this game 30-23. I think it'll be tied up at 23 late in the fourth. Vandy comes out with a touchdown at the end to kind of seal the deal. Give me 30-23 Vanderbilt.
Good score.
I actually had mine a little higher at first, and then I'm coming back just hearing everything you and Cam talked about. I had it at 34-21. Vanderbilt, I think they stretch out early a little bit, maybe get up 10 points. Texas starts to fight back. They hold them off. But I'm actually going to go a little lower. I'm going 24-21 Vandy. I don't think it – Texas defense, if they do come out hot and they do play well, they're going to limit Vandy. I just don't know how long.
You almost hit the over-under right there with that score.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I don't know if they're going to hit the over.
The over-under is 46.5 on this game.
But you also fall into that same category where, okay, let's talk about the defenses. Well, the defenses are good. What if the offenses are really clicking? Now you got this 45-38 game like Mississippi State and Texas. So we're basing these points off of the defense is playing well, not the offense is doing what they normally do. So that's where I get the 34-31. But I think a little bit safer for me is 24-21. I'm going Vanderbilt no matter what. Give me the Commodores.
Yeah, if you got Manziel on the sideline, you can't bet against him. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Pavia money line.
Yeah.
All right. So next game, we're going to get outside the SEC for a minute because we do have a big rivalry coming up. Not necessarily just the biggest rivalry, but a pretty good one because we've seen the game go back and forth. We got Penn State visiting Ohio State. Obviously, Ohio State should roll, right? It's an 11 o'clock game. Penn State's 3-4, obviously struggling, don't have a starting quarterback. Ohio State is moving on all cylinders. Julian's saying 82% completion percentage. Don't care who you are, that's impressive. Even if you're playing Jones Junior College, that's impressive. It's good, dude. 82% is crazy. I strive for that in high school. But
yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you there. I think that I don't know, man. Every year, Ohio State has this game where they should roll, and it's a decent caliber team, and you're like, these guys, they fired their head coach. They got an interim in there. No way that Penn State's going to do anything. They lost their starting quarterback. But that's the ones that Ohio State takes down to the line. So it's very intriguing, this game, because it makes me question myself, is this one of the ones that Ohio State can be caught sleeping? But then you got that dog. You got that dog over there. That quarterback with 80 what percent?
82.
Julian's saying he's a dog. The only thing that I'll say is I think it's going to be a low-scoring game like the Texas and Penn State. Texas and Ohio State game. The over-under is 45.5. I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a 21-17 Ohio State game.
21-17.
Penn State does have a defense.
I'm going to go completely polar opposite of you, Cam. No disrespect to you, brother. But look, I just think that Ohio State is going to steamroll these boys. I don't think it's going to be a close game. I think that Ohio State is running on every cylinder that they can have in an engine right now. And I know they haven't played the best competition, but guys, let's be honest. Penn State's not really the best competition right now. With Franklin being out, I know defense coordinator stepped up. He's got, really good experience, and he's familiar with Ohio State. He was the defense coordinator for them there last year. He'll have some tricks up his sleeve, but, I promise you Ryan Day and them figured out ways to throw him off, because just like he knows every weakness of what that Ohio State offense was, Ryan Day knows every weakness and everywhere he messed up running being a defensive coordinator for Ohio State last year. So I think that Ohio State, wise, outmatches them by roster. I think that their team is intact. They're shooting for a national not just playoffs, national championship and a Big Ten championship. I don't see them slipping to Penn State here. I like Ohio State in this game 38-24.
38-24.
I want to add something there before Kyle speaks. I want to give y'all some stats right here on this defensive game. This is one I think is going to be lower scored. Ohio State is first overall in total defense, first overall in passing yardage, overall in run yards. They are first overall in points against, which means other teams have scored against them. Yeah. And they are first overall in third down percentage defense. That's impressive. And I know they hadn't played nobody, but even if you played Jones Junior College, that's still impressive.
Yeah, I don't care who it is.
Penn State, 20th overall in total defense. They have a 7th overall passing yards defense, and this is where I feel like Penn State is failing. Their rush defense. They are 91st in the country. 29th in overall points and 80th in third down percentage. So, decent defense there. Not a great offense. I'm with you. I think that Ohio State should not have a problem with that, but they can get caught sleeping.
So, personnel-wise, real quick on personnel-wise, when I just look at the wideouts here, I'm like, all right, man, you got Jeremiah Smith, and you got, I think his name's Cornell Tate, right? And they're both lethal weapons because, are you going to double up on Jeremiah Smith? Well, if you do that, you leave Cornell Tate one-on-one, man, he'll cook most defenders in the SEC. He's just as good as some SEC receivers are in our conference. So I'm worried about Penn State's secondary here. And if their rush defense isn't doing good, and then Ohio State can establish the run and then throw at will when they want to, man, this could get rough, man. I don't know. That's just my opinion on it. Kyle, what are you thinking on?
Dude, I think Ohio State's offense is just rolling. I do think Penn State puts up a little bit of a fight. Their last 4 games, you know what their largest loss is? 7 points. Mm-hmm. They have one game that was 6 points, and then lost by 1 in the other 2. So they're in the game, right? Their defense is keeping them in the game. The offense is obviously struggling a little bit, but they're in the game. I think Penn State maybe hits them in the mouth a little bit starting off, but I just don't see a world where Penn State comes in here and really keeps it really close and maybe even upsets them. I don't see that.
I don't know. Sometimes the interim coach strikes something in these guys.
Agreed. I think Penn State's offense gets out a little early. I think it's a 2-score game for sure when it's all said and done. I'm going 35-24 Ohio State. I think Julian Sayin has a day. Jeremiah Smith maybe has a final really big day because I think he's been good, but he hasn't had that crazy breakout game yet like he did last year. I think he has that this Saturday for sure. Give me Ohio State 35, Penn State 24.
It is at the shoe as well.
It is. Shout out Julian Sayin. He said if he had to pick a Heisman today, he's picking Ty Simpson. Said they still talk on the phone.
That's pretty
Go ahead,
cool.
Bryce. Say something smart. Let me hear it.
No, I'm with you, man. I told y'all the other night I like Ty Simpson and Mendoza right now for Heisman. It'd be hard to choose one of them two, man.
Mendoza is slept on. He's too good. Speaking of not Mendoza, but Aguilar. Aguilar's another one that's slept on, and he's going to be playing Oklahoma this week. Oklahoma is at the Volunteers Stadium. What a hard place to play. They got the 6:30 kickoff. 6-2, number 18 OU goes to see the 6-2, number 14 Tennessee. This is a big game for the SEC because, to me, and we talked about last week, if OU lost to Ole Miss, to me, their season is basically done because then they have to beat Tennessee and Alabama. Ole Miss, right, really wasn't in that shoe because they had a pretty easy next 4 games. And you hear a lot now of people talking about how there are going to be some 10-2 SEC teams that don't make the playoff. So does a 10-2 Tennessee miss the playoff? Does a 10-2 OU miss the playoff? This is a game that both of these teams have to win. If they want a playoff berth, they have got to win it. I think Tennessee should win this one, but we have not seen that good Oklahoma that we saw the first 5 games of the year come back. So OU is the underdog by 2.5 points, over under at 55.5, which I feel like is kind of low. Man, I don't know. I don't know about this game.
I'm gonna tell you, this is gonna be my dark horse for the weekend. This is gonna be my upset because I'm thinking, this is my mind. I think Mateer, we talked about it Tuesday. I don't think he's been 100%. I feel like he's working that way. I feel like coming off a hard loss last week to a good Ole Miss team in the rain, he goes into Neyland, right? Like you said, playoff eliminator game. It comes down. This is all the marbles. They're throwing everything they can at it. I think that Oklahoma is going to dominate the line of scrimmage. I think on offense and defense. I think I think they're going to. Tennessee's defense is, I wouldn't even call it mid, terrible. I think that Oklahoma moves the ball this week better than they did against Ole Miss last week, and the rain probably didn't help that. But I don't know if Aguilar plays as well against a good defense like Oklahoma. So I'm gonna go with Oklahoma going into Neyland getting the upset this week and being a playoff eliminator for Tennessee, keeping Oklahoma in the fight with a 24-21 win in Knoxville. That is my upset for the week. Dark horse, my lock, Mateer is getting back in the Heisman race, baby.
So you think they're not going to hit the over under?
Over under is 55.5.
That
Look,
I think opposite of the over under. I think they clear the over.
I don't know, man. I feel like this is going to be a possession rule game. Who can keep the ball for the most amount of time? I feel like they're going to try to wear defenses out here.
I don't think either team knows how to do that. All they know how to do is hit big plays.
Aguilar hits big. I feel like Oklahoma has been very slow tempo than what they was beginning of the season, the past 2 games.
Yeah,
I feel like that's because of Mateer's injury,
which has gotten them in some trouble.
Yeah, of course, they're 10-2 now. But I will say this is a very good matchup with good on good and bad on bad because Tennessee's offense is 3rd overall.
Yeah, they're good.
2nd in pass yardage, 34th in rush yardage, 2nd overall in points gained, and 25th on 3rd down percentage, where Oklahoma's offense is 77th overall in total yardage, 59th in passing yardage, 99th in rush yardage, and 73rd in points. So I feel like that's very outweighed by Tennessee, but you look at the defense, and Oklahoma's defense is overall 8th in passing yardage, 6th in rush yardage, where Tennessee is 102nd on defense. 102nd in the nation. There's Pac-10 teams with better defenses than that. 122nd against pass defense. 122nd. 54th against rushing yardage. So they are 112th on points against them on defense. So I feel like that offense for Oklahoma is going to come together this week, where Ole Miss was kind of hitting them in the mouth, slowing them up, messing up their rhythm. But Bryce, I want to hear your score. I got Oklahoma beating Tennessee 24-21.
Yeah,
Which is
so
crazy.
when I think about this game, man, I'm thinking kind of what you just said, Cam. I'm looking at good on good here, right? I'm looking at a good offense in Tennessee against a good defense at Oklahoma. And I think that Oklahoma's defense is equipped enough to slow Aguilar down, and maybe slow down their or lower their point total that they've hit majority of the season. Is that going to be enough for John Mateer and that Oklahoma offense to bounce back on a weaker Tennessee defense? And I think, yes, I think that is enough, and I think John Mateer will bounce back. But I want to kind of push back on the thought of maybe Oklahoma slows down and carries controls the line of scrimmage and stuff, because even before John Mateer was hurt, that's not Oklahoma's offense. That's not what they do. They've not been very effective running the football this year. With Jay Knott constantly battling injuries, and I think the boy's name's Torrey Blaylock is the running back there. It's been kind of a struggle for them to establish a run game. Mateer runs the ball well, but I think where they get it is when they get to going in the passing game. I'm thinking that I think Oklahoma shuts them down on defense enough to keep Tennessee's score below 30 points. But I think that Oklahoma, they don't do very well at tempo, and when they do, it struggles. But I think this is the week that John Mateer bounces back. I like Oklahoma in this game, 31-24.
That's what I'm talking about, going into Neyland and doing it, son. What I'm talking about, Brycey. Blaylock is getting 4.3 yards a carry right now, average. Just so
that's
know
not
that.
terrible. That's not terrible, but they just don't typically stay to the run game.
Y'all ready for mine?
Tennessee.
Because I'm going against y'all. 100% going against y'all.
I know you are.
I do not think Oklahoma can slow down that offense enough. I think Tennessee. It's gonna be a back and forth game. I think it's gonna be a pretty good scoring game. I just don't see any way. I don't know. I was very big on Oklahoma the first 5 games of the season, and then after the last couple games, Mateer was hurt, but the whole team didn't play like they did the first 4 or 5 games. So I don't see it. I'm going against y'all. I'm going Tennessee for sure. I think it's a little bit more higher scoring game. Give me a 41-38 Tennessee.
Wow.
Ooh, that's a lot of scoring.
If that's the case, then Oklahoma's defense is not really what we always thought that it was. I will say that.
Well, they let a struggling Texas offense put up 23. Ole Miss put up 34. I think Tennessee's offense is just as good as Ole Miss's offense.
Yeah, I'm not pushing back on it at all,
hey,
man.
Aguilar is leading the SEC in passing yards. He's got 2,400. They steamrolled Kentucky 56-34. Now, the fact that Kentucky put up 34 points on their defense tells me it's going to be a high-scoring game. So give me 41-38. Tennessee wins it big. Not big, but they win in Neyland. They bounce back. They keep the playoff hopes alive. OU, sorry about your bad luck. Better luck next year.
Hey, look, one more thing before we get off that game. I'll tell you another thing that we need to watch out for in this game is how Oklahoma handles third downs against Tennessee's offense.
Yeah, because Tennessee on third down is elite.
That's going to be the kicker here. If Oklahoma can hold them to punting situations or field goals, then it might work out in their favor. I personally like Oklahoma in this one, Kyle, but I understand your pick, and I really won't be shocked either way it goes.
But here's the thing, too, and we saw it in the Alabama game. Heupel's going for it on 4th and 6, right? If he's in 4-down territory, if he's on Tennessee's 48-yard line and it's 4th and 6, he's going for it. He's got faith in his offense. And that's why the Alabama game was a big who can convert on 3rd and 4th, or third down and 4th down, because both teams had to do it, right? So I don't know if OU's defense on a 7 or 8 play drive that finally gets a stop can hold Tennessee on a 4th and 4. I just don't see it. But I could be wrong. I'll eat crow. I'll be the first one to tell you I was wrong. Speaking of that, Georgia, Florida. next big game we got to talk about. This is a weird one for me too, right? Georgia is going to Florida. It's a 2:30 kickoff. Georgia's only favored 7.5 points. I feel like Georgia should be favored more than 7.5 points. But unless I'm just not seeing something here. Georgia beats Ole Miss 43-35, Auburn 20-10, Kentucky 35-14. Obviously takes the loss to Alabama. Florida hasn't scored in the last 5 games. They haven't scored more than 21 points. I'm sorry. I take that back. They beat Texas 29-21, and they beat Mississippi State 23-21. They haven't scored a lot.
I just love the fact that you threw in there a little sly shade that Georgia lost to Bama. That's hilarious. I just want to call that out real quick.
Did what? Say it again?
You had to throw that Alabama win in there against Georgia.
Obviously lost Alabama. You know I'm going to get it when I can.
I think that this really just boils down to is nobody knows what they expect from Florida this week. You know,
Interim head coach.
Interim head coach. A lot of changes were made to the offense. I'm hearing reports this week that come out that said that, you know, one of Billy's biggest problems was that he constricted Lagway's game. That wasn't who Lagway played. That's not how he plays. That's not how he is. But look, guys, let's not get it confused. We've seen DJ Lagway get loose and throw 5 interceptions in one game. And if he thinks that Georgia's defense can't do this as well, they're wrong. I agree with you, Kyle. I like Georgia in the spread in this one. I think it's probably going to be looking more like probably a 13, 14, maybe even 17-point game, in my personal opinion here. I just think Gunnar Stockton, he's a playmaker. He knows how to get out of there. And, you know, kudos to Florida's defense. I hope they haven't gave up on the season yet because there is time to turn around this. And obviously you're not going to make the playoffs, but there's a chance to rally up and have what some would consider a successful season without the leadership they've had there. I just think that Georgia has way too much to lose if they drop this game to Florida. And I think that Kirby is drilling that in them boys' heads right now up there in Athens. I'll wait on let y'all give y'all's inputs on it before I go back around for my prediction, but I like Georgia big in this one.
See, and we always see Bama going in these situations, right, where you're like, okay, we should be winning this game, and then we almost lose, right? We saw it versus South Carolina. We saw it at Vanderbilt last year, Oklahoma last year, Florida State. I don't think Georgia's that way. I think Georgia is always locked in, right? If they're going up against someone that they're favored against, it's a dub, unless it's Alabama. But like they're going to get that win. I don't see them not getting a win here. I say that to say Florida is going to play Georgia hard. That is a rivalry, right? Last year, before Lagway got hurt, they were moving the ball and looking like it was going to be a really close game and a shootout. So I don't know. I like Gunnar Stockton. I think he's a great quarterback. He's a good game manager, and I'm not saying that to throw shade at him. I'm saying it to say he does what he's supposed to do every single time, more times than not. That's the only reason why he's only got 1 interception, and he can run. I'm taking Georgia. I'm taking Georgia to cover, and I think it's a 10-point ball game. Give me Georgia 34-24.
Ooh, big score.
I think Georgia puts up some good points. They put up 43 on Mississippi State on Ole Miss, and they got a pretty decent defense. And Auburn's defense is solid. I think they're one of the most solid in the SEC. They just can't get off the field because of their offense. And Georgia only put up 20 points. So
Georgia,
give me 34-24.
I don't know. Georgia to me is just I don't know where to put them because most of the games they've won, they've been down all the way into the fourth quarter. There's Joe Allen. There's my man Joe Allen.
Big Joe Allen. There he is.
But so Georgia's been down. They don't have no quit in them. I'll say that. Kirby makes them play. They know to play to the last whistle. But with that being said, I don't know. This game is just weird to me. I'm telling you, I've never seen teams play harder than when an interim coach comes in. It's just weird. They play hard for that guy. But
every time.
I still think Georgia blows them out the water here. It's just I know Georgia's played some good good competition, but they're 37th overall in total offense, 55th in passing yards, 33rd in rush yards. Florida is 92nd overall in offense, 65 in pass yards, 102nd in rush yards. But I'm going to tell you, Jaden Ball has turned that around. That dude has come alive in the past 2 to 3 games. That's where I feel like if Florida has a chance this game, it is to utilize Jaden Ball, let him do what he's been doing the past 2 to 3 games. They used the new receiver, the freshman, forgot his name. What's his name? Anyways, when DJ Lagway got him on the field against Texas, was it Frank Wilson? No. Dallas Wilson?
It's Wilson or Dallas something.
Okay. Anyways,
hold on.
Whenever he come in the game, it gave DJ new life, I feel like. And they played the best game they ever have against Tennessee, then turned right around. Texas, and then turned right around and played a great game against State. So I don't know, man. This one's just got me a little bit stunned. I feel like I would not be shocked to see Florida hanging in there, but at the same time, I just feel like Kirby is just too elite of a coach.
And where's Bryce hiding? He's a little he's under the weather. He's driving. He knows Auburn's going to take another loss this weekend. He just doesn't want to show his face.
Yeah. But anyways, I got Georgia winning this one. I hit the over-under on the money, a little bit under, but I got Georgia at 28-17 winning this game here.
28-17.
Yeah.
That's a good point spread right there. I think that is pretty solid. I think Florida might get an extra touchdown in there, but we're gonna see. I think we're both on the same idea train there. Just a little bit more offense on my side. Bryce, let's hear it.
Well, look, Mr. Joe's here, and I don't have my ad reading pulled up, but I am going to give him a quick shout-out real quick before I give my prediction. If y'all want to go bet, go to sharp42.ag. I'm sponsored by my man Joe Allen. Look, they got the best betting lines you can get. Got some payouts good for you. And right now, if you sign up, you get a free $50 in free play with an additional 50% of free play of whatever you deposit. So make sure you get in there and sign up. Tell them Bryce Tillman sent you or message one of us 3 here on the show, and we'll get you hooked up with him, and we'll let him know that you was referred by our show. So head on over right now to sharp42.ag or comment below, and we'll get you started on it. Look, my predictions for the game is I think that Dalen Everett's going to take one to the house on the defensive side of the ball. I think they're going to be a pick six by DJ Lagway in this game. So I like Georgia winning this game 34-16. I think there's going to be some situations in there. I think Florida's defense will show up on third down a little bit to stop Georgia and force them to kick. And I just think Georgia's defense is just Georgia's defense, man. Got to be honest with you. They haven't been the best they've ever been, but that's just a testament to how good they've been over the years because they're still a very good defense. So give me Georgia 34, Florida 16.
I like it. We're all in the same ball game right there. We're all pretty close in points. Give me Georgia. Give me them dogs. They got this one in the bag, I think. But be looking for Florida interim head coach to have a day. He's going to have some stuff up his sleeve. What we don't have in this next game is an interim head coach playing. We have 2 pretty good head coaches, one being y'all's dark horse this year, South Carolina, who almost pulled off that upset last week against Bama. They are going to Ole Miss, right? That is going to be at Ole Miss.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Let me see. Let me get it pulled up.
Yes, it's at Miami.
And this is a big game for me, right? Because there's a difference in, 1, the Ole Miss offense, and 2, the Alabama offense. And again, I'm always going to bring up Alabama, but last week Bama was favored 13.5, Ole Miss favored 12.5. I think Ole Miss definitely covers because South Carolina's defense did show a lot of good in the front 7 last week. I just don't know if they can keep up with Ole Miss, right? Ole Miss is that big, let's get some deep shots. Let's go make some big explosive plays. And when I say explosive plays, that's characterized as 15-plus yard plays, right? So I think Ole Miss is going to have a lot of those. Lenore Sellers can't do it all, right? If Lenore Sellers could throw like he could run, they'd be undefeated.
I agree.
And if he had receivers that could catch. Nick Harbor is freaking 6'12", 240, runs a 3.9. Why is he getting one target in a game? And that one target was a 60-yard touchdown. But, dude, what are we doing? I don't think South Carolina's got it at all, and I think Ole Miss steamrolls them. I think it's a 3-4 possession game.
I'm with you. I feel like that offense is just too strong. The firepower is just too big at Ole Miss right now. And the offense of South Carolina is almost last in the nation. They're 127th overall in total offense. So 115th in passing yards, 123rd in rush yards, 116th in points. So just not a very good offense whatsoever. And the defense for Ole Miss isn't that great either. I mean, they're 64th overall, 47th overall in pass yards, 98th in rush yards. But South Carolina's defense is a lot better than that. They're 39th overall, 40th in pass yards, 65th in rush yards. So that'll not tailor well still, though, with that offense that's 9th overall for Ole Miss. Those passing yards are 8th overall in the nation at 300 yards per game pass yardage. So
crazy.
I feel like Ole Miss has got the firepower behind them. It's at Vaught Hemingway in Oxford. I feel like this is going to be a statement win. It's going to really give them the confidence to roll on, lock in that playoff spot. I think Ole Miss goes up and wins here at 38 points against 21 South Carolina.
38-21. I'm pretty similar. Again, like I said, I think it's 3 possessions. Maybe not 3 scores, 3 full scores, but I think it's 3 possessions, which would, you hit the nail on the head there. I like that. I like that number at all. I don't want to steal it, but I'm going to. I agree with you 100%. I'm taking Ole Miss 38-21. I just don't know if that front seven can slow them down long enough, because what they do have is a quarterback that's going to read 1, 2, and he's running. Where, when you have a quarterback like Aguilar or Ty Simpson or Julian Sand, they're not reading 1 and 2. They're going 1, 2, 3, check down. Where's my tight end? All within the 3 seconds. So it's going to be a different ball game. I don't think they get quite as much pressure to Chambliss just because he's very mobile. And we could be wrong here. We could be dead wrong. Lenore Sellers could probably run for 200 yards and 2 touchdowns and maybe a couple touchdowns. Nick Harbors, who knows? But I don't think so.
Yeah,
whoever bets on that, they got an addiction if they bet on that.
Well, and like you said, look, you would never expect this out of South Carolina last week, and I don't know, man. It's college football. It's college football.
It is. 100% is.
Here we go, boys. Y'all ready for this?
I'm ready. So ready.
Here we go. What is it?
Let me tell you something right now. If Dylan Stewart comes across that line of scrimmage and hits Trinidad Chambliss like he hit Ty Simpson last week, one time, that will wreck Trinidad Chambliss' game right there. That is a full-grown man out there hitting a guy that's he's a freak athlete. Don't get me wrong. But we watched Trinidad Chambliss whenever Georgia started heating him up. He got rattled. We talked about this in that show. If Dylan Stewart and some of them other guys on that line can get across and get to Trinidad, I like South Carolina in this game. I think South Carolina's due for a win. I think they're due for an upset. I think it's their time. They're going to get it. Give me South Carolina 28-24 upsetting Ole Miss. Book it.
Book it, and lock it in.
You have to be that guy. I love the confidence.
You have me sold.
I'm ready to talk about this Monday, because hey, look, if it happens, I'll be the first one to tell you, hey, I was wrong. I will say, if they have the same defensive schematics and plan and play for 4 quarters, it's going to be a ball game. I still think Ole Miss gets them by at least 2 possessions, but I don't see a world where Ole Miss loses and doesn't cover.
Yeah. Let me tell you about this, though. There's a reason why they call him old Lane Whiffin, old choke kiffin.
He's
So
got to have one.
He's got to have one in there.
He's due for
Maybe
it, man.
Bryce is calling it. Maybe Bryce is calling it.
I mean, I would not be. I wouldn't be shell shocked. I would be kind of surprised they lost, but it happens every year this way.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And then this goes against the argument of
Somebody,
well, does Lane Kiffin lose? Does he leave because he can't win a natty at Ole Miss, but he can go win one at LSU? Whatever. You know, gonna be crazy to see. Crazy to see. Bryce, was you saying something?
all right. One more thing before I get off here because I'm coming through a dead zone. I know y'all fixing to wrap it up. I like the Auburn Tigers tomorrow to win big over Kentucky. I think Ash Daniels going to put on a clinic. Give me 31-20 Auburn. Love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'm going.
hey,
Y'all wrap it
one
up.
second. 1 second. While you're on here, give me a state prediction. State and Arkansas prediction.
Mississippi State wins that game 27-20.
Perfect. Get off here. We'll wrap it up.
Bye. Cam. Wallace,
right.
me and you.
Yeah, boy. Later.
I did make a little friendly bet with our man J Mac saying that I think Auburn covers the 10.5. So Bryce would be happy to hear that. But we talked about it a little bit last show, but we didn't give our predictions. Who is your Heisman right now?
Ty Simpson.
And I saw a comment today that this is probably one of the worst Heisman races they've seen in the last couple of years. And the reason was
winner.
that, and it may be everything is leading to Ty Simpson. Like it's all showing that it's going to be Ty Simpson, and no matter what these other guys do, which again I think Julian's saying, I think it's a 50-50 Julian saying Ty Simpson. I think Mendoza's great, but Ohio State has a better schedule than Indiana. They have a better resume for sure. It's just I don't know.
Hard for me. It's hard for me because Julian saying is boss, 80% completion rate, blowing people out, undefeated, number one in the AP polls. Ty Simpson has a great resume, beating all these ranked teams, playing quality opponents and beating them, putting up good numbers. But Mendoza is the same way. Mendoza is with Indiana they are whooping tail. I mean, they are not just beating people 20 points. They're beating people 40, 50 points.
That they are.
That's why I feel like it's a hard race this year because they're like last year, everybody knew Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
Everybody. I mean, it was just given. But this year, I'm with you. Ty Simpson right now because of the resume, he's got the bag. I know it's getting late. I'm gonna start these two games real quick, just blast them out here. Auburn, Kentucky. I feel like Ashton Daniels comes in and starts. I feel like there's going to be some quarterback controversy there between him and Jackson Arnold. So I feel like it's going to throw him off rhythm a little bit. I think Auburn still gets it done 24-17. Mississippi State against Arkansas going to Fayetteville. I like Arkansas in this game against State. They have not done anything to tell me any otherwise. They blow 17-point leads. They score against everybody. Should be 7-1 right now, but they don't know how to win. And because they don't know how to win, I'm not taking them here. I'm going to go Arkansas 38-35.
That's a hard one for me. That is a tough one for me because I know Mississippi State can do it. The safer bet is to go Arkansas. I'm going to give a third game for you. I think Alabama wins the bye week for sure. I think they win big.
They better. They better. Keep Ty Simpson's Heisman hopes up.
Oh, yeah. All right. Appreciate y'all. For those that joined on, Cam Boney, it's always a pleasure. See y'all next.
Y'all have a good one.
Mine's not ending.
You've been listening to The Common Fan. See y'all next time. Same time, same tailgate.